author. She is a tribalism advocate. She's a speaker who has spoken at so many different functions, starting with the Youth Liberation Conference, and also spoke at the Zambia Peace, Conflict and Development Initiative, where she spoke about tribalism. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages, I would like to introduce to you
the hottest podcast coming to you from the heart of Lusaka City. It's now available on Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Spotify, and Anchor FM.
Moono Chungu.
Hi.
Hey Moono, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm fine. So just tell us a bit about yourself. Like, what made you start writing? Did you start like in school, like high school, university? How did that come about?
I've been writing since primary school, so I still remember like in English we had like creative writing, and I still remember like some of the stories I'd write then.
Okay.
I think I fell in love with writing then, and then in secondary school I used to write as well. So you know, in English you have sometimes they tell you write a story about this and this.
Yeah, like doing like compositions and stuff.
Yes, but I would still do it even when we were not required to. So I would always write. Then when I went to A-level, I studied English and literature again. And then I also did the same in uni. So I've basically been writing for as far back as I can remember. As soon as I could write, I've loved writing stories.
Oh wow. So literally just from your primary school till now.
Yeah.
So is it like a continuous thing which you do?
Yes, it's one of my hobbies actually. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's right.
Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting. Some people have hobbies of like watching football, but you write. That's cool. So how many things have you written? Like how many articles have you written? How many books have you written?
I don't know how many articles because I started working in 2014, so I can't even approximate, but I used to write maybe 2 articles per week then, or I used to have 2 articles published per week, so maybe 4 articles per week.
Okay.
And then in uni, so it's a lot, but basically I've got dozens of articles published with currently 10 media companies.
Okay, would you like to name some?
Yes, the Post newspaper, the former Post, Grahamstown, there's a newspaper called Grocott Mail.
What?
Grocott Mail. It was like the newspaper of the town, the biggest paper in the town.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
And then I've been published with Daily Mail, I've been published with Mkwazi Magazine, I've been published with some online platforms as well, New Era Magazine, a couple of magazines in Zambia, and then Kolani Media in South Africa, off the top of my mind, and then I also have a blog.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, and one book. Yeah.
And that's the book which we have here today. You can see it, Roots. So just tell us a bit about this book. Okay. What inspired you like to write this book?
Well, I wanted to write about something I was passionate about, and I'm very passionate about anti-tribalism because I have had a few experiences with tribalism, seeing as I'm a tribal hybrid.
Yeah.
But when people hear my first name, it being Tonga, they automatically assume I'm Tonga. And because of that, I have had a lot of comments like, you Tongas, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've also had a lot of people accusing me of claiming to be Bemba. And because of that, I thought...
But you're like, your names are like, how can I say? Like the traditional Tonga and traditional Bemba names.
Yes, but because... I don't know, I think also when people hear Moono, some people even mistake Chungu and write it the way they assume a Tonga would write Chungu, so CHW.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like Chungu or
yes,
something like that.
Chungu. So
okay.
People do assume that I'm Tonga. Also now that I'm older, I think some people would assume, I'm Chungu because I'm married. So I have had experiences. So I wanted to dissuade people from thinking in a certain way. And that's why I wrote the book. So just... because I love Zambia, and I believe that Zambia was founded on One Zambia, One Nation, I talk about us being rooted in One Zambia, One Nation, and saying, I suggest that we've taken a path or a route that is contrary to our motto. So that's why I got the name Roots.
Okay.
It's what we're rooted in and the roots that we have taken. So it's just a play on words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that. That's very interesting. Because do you think tribalism in Zambia was initiated? Okay, like for me, I think like it was initiated by not even us, the Zambians itself, but I think our colonial masters. They tried to do that as a way to just separate us and divide us against ourselves. And like once maybe we took over power, like in 1964. Those systems were still in place, and now the people who took over power were just like, okay, this is what I have, and this is how I can control the people.
Yeah.
And something which I think has just been continuing in that way. And we've tried to break like the tribal barriers, but we just hear like some small comments here and there by some big politicians, which I think is very retrogressive for us, because if you just take an example from, let's say, countries like Uganda or Rwanda, where there was a genocide. Rwanda, where there was a genocide.
Yeah.
Started over like a joke.
Yeah.
Like calling people like, cockroaches, calling people what.
Yeah.
Then later on, like pangas were involved and almost 1 million people were killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, generally, is tribalism and hate speech a political construct in Zambia?
It definitely is. I do think that politicians maximize on it to sort of dissuade people from voting for a certain group of people. And what's funny is I wrote this book in 2016, and there's a specific politician I was writing about who in 2016 was saying things like Tongas are cows. A specific quote that he used that I'll never forget is, if you told Tongas to vote for Jesus or Hakainde Hichilema, they would still vote for Hakainde Hichilema.
Oh my gosh.
And the funny thing is that same politician was saying the same things during this last election that we had. He was still going around talking about Tongas. So I think politicians maximize on it because they can create beliefs and stereotypes like all Tongas are selfish. So if you vote for a Tonga president, this will be like this.
Exactly.
Or if you vote for a Lunda president, or if you vote for a Bemba president, things will be like this. So it's definitely something that our politicians maximize on in order to sort of make themselves look better and make the people from other tribes look less than.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's very true, because there was even like this sort of campaign which was going around, like the Wako ni Wako. So like where you have to support your own people.
Yeah.
But we forget like we are our own people, we are Zambians. Because like take for example, if you go out of Zambia, they will not give you the respect which you are supposed to have here. They're going to treat you like a foreigner. Now imagine you getting treated as a foreigner in your own country. Just because you're not coming from the north or the east, or you're not coming from the northwest or the southern part of the country. Which I really think is very, very bad. And I don't think we can, in the next, let's say, 20 to 30 years, if we continue like this, I don't think it's going to end well.
Yeah, no.
But what do you think, how do you think we can actually stop this?
So one thing I suggest in my book is I highlight the dangers of tribalism. We've already spoken about how Rwanda was involved in genocide and Zimbabwe had the same. My suggestion is that it can only be the next generation to make a change, because I believe that with tribalism in Zambia, it's mostly stereotypes. And if we as a generation now say, when I have children, I'm not going to tell them that Bemba people behave like this or Lunda people behave like this. I'm just going to teach them that a person is a person. And rather than telling them that people who belong to certain groups behave in a certain type of way, then we will rid ourselves of the thinking that specific tribes behave a certain way, and we will show our children that really being Zambian is about, it's not about your tribe or what people think the tribe behaves like. We are all different people with different behaviors, and really we just need to embrace being Zambian and take it back to what Kaunda tried to do, which is to really embrace being one Zambia, one nation, rather than being, what I suggest in my book is one Zambia, 73 nations, because of our 73 tribes.
It's actually 72 to 72, 73 tribes.
Oh, people, I think it's 73.
It's 73?
Yeah.
Okay.
But people do say 72 as well, so I don't know.
Anyway, we'll take it 73 because it's in your book.
Yeah.
Please, you can get Roots. You can go follow Moono on her page on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook I have a page, or you can follow my actual account. So it's Moono Chungu. My page is Moono Namwizie Chungu, and then also Instagram at Mtolankani. But if you type Moono Chungu, I'll pop up. And LinkedIn, if there's anyone who uses LinkedIn.
So I'm sure there are people who use LinkedIn. And also your blog.
Yes.
Your blog. When did you start that one?
I started it in 2007. 17 in my final year of university.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how has it been going? Like, how often do you post on it?
Well, so it started out as, because I specialized in print journalism, so we had to have blogs because that was our exam. Mm-hmm. So then I used to post, I believe, weekly.
But when you said print, like you mean like hard copy or like soft copy?
No. So print journalism is writing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so anything to do with
something new.
Yeah. So I used to write weekly, and then I started, when I finished, I write once in a while when I have time or I have something to share, but it's definitely changed because my blog is called Thatzedgirl because at school, when I realized, you spoke about foreigners, people will treat you like a foreigner. So I embraced my foreigness and always used to talk about Zambia. So everyone on campus knew me as that Zambian girl. So that's why it's called That Zambian Girl. And then I used to share experiences of being a foreigner. But now that I'm back in Zambia, there's not much that I can share because I'm not a foreigner. So now I share stories about work, losing my dad, just practical things that I actually go through now. Yeah.
Square One is a company offering creative business solutions to help your company or brand grow. Our services include website design. A website is a very vital tool to have as it automates a lot of your tasks in the long run. Brand design. Jeff Bezos once said, "A brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room." Physical branding, social media management, and much more. If you're a startup or an already established brand looking to increase your market share, whether it's online or on the ground, you have to start from square one. Connect with us on the pages listed on the screen and let's grow together.
So, welcome back to the Right Podcast. We have Moono Chungu with us, author, tribalism advocate, and like just an awesome person in general. Yeah, so just asking her questions about just her history and what she's encountered with her life. So I just wanted to ask like a question about your writing. So do you think like writing energizes you or it exhausts you? How do you feel like when you're writing, the process, like just the start to finish? What are the emotions you go through?
It energizes me definitely. It gives me excitement, especially when I'm writing about something I'm passionate about. The process is exciting. So with Roots in particular, when I was writing, I was in South Africa, and you see the descriptions in the first chapter are really descriptive of Zambia because in that moment I was really, I shut my eyes and I put myself at Manda Hill Bridge as I started to write. So it was very exciting for me because I felt like I was at home again. So that's the process that I go through. There's also a lot of research that goes into it. So in those moments, it's just nostalgic. It's like a nice feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you enjoy doing the research for your stuff?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so what do you usually do? You go like online, or you have to go like to an actual library?
Online mostly. Online, I ask questions. So for my book, because it talks about Zambia's roots, so like tracing back, I have discussions like with my grandfather because he's also passionate about Zambia and all of that. So I ask him questions, ask other people questions as well because obviously I wasn't there for a lot of these moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of it is through word of mouth or online. Because I was in South Africa, there's not much literature that was around Zambia. So everything was online or from my own knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you ever tried like going to also the National Museum?
I haven't been in a while, but yes, I have.
Because I remember the first time I went there, I think it was in 2019 or it was before COVID. I went to So this stand which was like showing the pre-colonial times and like post-independence, and it was like some regalia was there, stuff with UNIP. And also the thing which blew my mind was like the witchcraft section. I was like, what? This is what actual people were using. Like how there was like this walking stick which I've forgotten who was using, but each time he hit it, like allegedly he turned into an eagle.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just there in the museum.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because like I'm also passionate about Zambia, and I really want to see our country grow and really build. Because I think even like from let's say independence itself, we gained independence at the same time as Singapore, and just look at the comparison. Singapore like literally has skyscrapers all over the place, and we just have skyscrapers in Cairo Road.
Yeah.
and let's say maybe the new one here close to our kids, and we just look at the economies just generally. We are under a lot of debt, but debt is like a normal thing which a lot of countries go under. But yeah, I don't think we are where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
We're very far.
I almost feel like countries that were colonized a little bit longer are in better states.
That's what I was thinking.
Because you look at Zimbabwe, who got colonized maybe almost 20 years after us. Their city looks better, in quotes. And you look at South Africa as well, who was colonized, who only gained independence, I think, 40 years after us. Is it almost? I think so. Or 30 years afterwards. And for them also their city looks better. But anyway, I think, it was great that we gained independence and all of that, but I definitely do agree we could be in a better state than we are.
Yeah, because from the time we gained independence, we were helping a lot of other countries fight for independence. Like we're helping like Mozambique, Namibia, Zimbabwe, South Africa also. And that we were like, in a way, it was good to help, but we were removing like a plank of wood from someone's eye, not knowing like there's like a lot. And that, I think, it really affected us a lot. Yeah, but that's who we are. We're very kind people, very helping people.
Yeah.
And I just hope we just keep with that same mentality. So have you ever gotten a writer's block?
Yes, I currently have one now.
You currently have one? Are you serious?
Yeah.
So what are you writing?
I want to start, I actually started, but I'm only on the first page of my next book.
And you're a writer's block on the first page?
It's been years actually. I conceptualized it a couple of years ago, even with this book. It took me 5 years to publish. The first time I wrote it, I literally would come back from class, sit and write. It took me probably 3 months to finish the whole thing. And then I was ready to publish, but I couldn't. So when I finished university and I started working, then I needed to get back to it. And it took me over a year to sit back down and edit it because my writing had improved.
Okay.
So yeah, it happens. But right now I think it's more because of work. If I actually had time to sit down, it would be easier for me to just jump right into it. But I think it's because of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure you obviously have some free time very soon and you pick it up.
Hopefully, yeah.
But you're sure it's like a writer's block because of work, not about anything else?
Yeah, I have the story. I mean, you definitely still need to be in the zone. You need to, you need to feel it in order to give the images that people need in order to get what you're saying.
Okay.
But it's definitely because of work, yeah.
Okay, no, I get that also. Because sometimes, a lot of times when I'm also doing some videos, I'll have a picture of what I want to, I'll have the end of it already in my head. I'll be like, okay, how am I going to do it? Then I'll start doing it, and I'll be like, first of all, I'll be like, okay, will this make sense to the people? Will they understand what I'm trying to say? And I'll be like, okay, they will understand it. Then I'll be like, okay, I just get discouraged from I don't know why that happened. But you also go through that when you're...
yes, with this book, I had many stages where I actually thought people would receive it with a lot of criticism. Because when I was writing it, I also used to post on Facebook similar content like, why do people think about Tongas in such a manner? And I got a lot of responses that were people saying over-exaggerating, you need to calm down. So I thought people would receive it in that same manner. So I was really scared about putting it out. But when I did, I've only had positive responses.
Okay.
So for me, it's not, I have the story and everything, but it's just the time to sit. You also don't want to be cut off. It's like with an article. If I'm going to write an article, I would rather have 1 hour. Leave me alone. I shut out the world.
Exactly.
Get my headphones and I write until I finish. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I also do the same thing. Because especially if your phone is on and your data is on, those those really irritate you. Those notifications really get to you.
Yeah.
And also, I get what you mean, like where you don't cut yourself off. Like for instance, let's say if you're writing an article about, let's say, the budget, you can't write the article after 6 months because it will lose its relevance. So you have to do it within a specific time frame.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So have you ever thought of writing under? Did you ever think of writing under a pseudonym?
No, I don't know.
So you've always just been like, okay, as an author, just be Moono Chungu.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be like, let's say, Diana White or something like that?
No, I think also No, I think I like my name. And I actually have a whole chapter about my name in the book.
Okay.
And my name is my story. So for that reason, I've never thought of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's very good. So, if you could tell your younger self something, your younger writing self something, like from today, what would it be?
I think I'll tell my younger self that you're doing okay, you're going to get better, and you will get criticism along the way, but that's okay. I think I turned out okay. When I just started working as a journalist, that was before I started university, I had a couple of comments. The first time my name was ever, like my byline featured in the newspaper to show that I was part of the article. My former classmates actually came and said like, oh, you know, you can't write and you should do this and this training so that you become a better writer. And I actually didn't write the article. The journalist was just kind enough to put my name there because I had helped with
snap. So I just saying that because your name was there, or...
I don't know. And the thing is, she's actually a really good writer, the journalist who put my name there. And that paper sold out within, I think, 2 hours, which is, I mean, right now, it's what 13? If you go on the street, you probably find maybe 1-2 papers are still there. The paper sold out in the morning. She was a really good journalist, so I should put that out there as well. But they came and they passed these comments, and you know, they carried on. Like I deleted the post, and then they came onto my timeline. At the time, we called it a timeline on Facebook. And is it still called a timeline? I think it is. Yeah, I think then it was called a wall. So they came on my wall and were like, if you're going to ask for criticism, don't run away. And I was like, I didn't even ask you for criticism. So basically they came, and that really crushed me because I was thinking, I'm just starting out, I haven't even practiced. But I found my feet eventually.
But like after that, but some people also congratulate you? Or?
Of course, people were like, oh, well done, you know, especially family and other friends also. And, you know, now the same people who were saying that, like, follow my blog and pass, like, positive comments in my mind, I'm like, do you remember when you...
Exactly.
Like, I've never forgotten. Even every time I see them, that's what I think. But I'm glad that I didn't get discouraged. But rather, I sort of said, I will push myself to be good so that I prove them wrong. Yeah, so to my younger self, you're doing okay. Keep pushing. Yeah, I think.
Okay, that's good, because I think criticism is always going to be there, just how we react to it.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because like also, even like when I upload the video, at first, just like I think within the past 2 to 3 weeks, I don't know why, YouTube removed the dislike button, so it's no longer there. So I used to actually look at that.
Yeah.
Like, is anyone disliking? Okay, no one's disliking. Because at first, all my videos just had likes, and I just noticed dislikes. I was like, am I doing something bad?
Yeah, no, I think people are like that. Like, there'll be that one person, especially with YouTube, there's always someone who wants to dislike. Sometimes I'm like, what are you disliking?
Exactly.
It should be a song for God. And I'm like, guys.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just take a short break. So, welcome back to the Right Podcast. We have Moono with us in the studio. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so we just want to talk about, we've been talking about like tribalism and her roots in writing. You can also get her book, Roots. You can contact her on her Facebook page, Instagram page, LinkedIn, and also on her blog. Like she's an author, she's a tribalism advocate, and also a marketer, a very good marketer, if I should say. So what did you always think that you'd be a marketer, or?
Never. When I actually got into marketing, I emailed my lecturers and said, oh, guess what? I'm in marketing. And they also responded, what? Because in class, like everyone thought, even I thought I would always be in journalism, but life didn't work out that way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You like plan to do one thing and just end up on another path completely. Because I also started out like I wanted to be an engineer. No, first off, pilot. I still really want to fly a plane. That's like one of my goals. Like each and every time, like my mom would tell me like stories when I was younger. Like each time a plane would be flying over the house, I would like run outside and just be like, plane.
Yeah, you should. I mean,
and this is something because I think it's pretty cheap to get like a private license just to fly like a small plane.
Okay.
That's something which I would like to do. Then I switched to engineering. Then from engineering to marketing, which I think I love now.
Yeah.
And I think that's truly who I am, like a marketer. So, like, let's say, what have you been involved in any interesting campaigns?
Yes, I work for a university. I don't know if I should mention the university.
Just up to you.
Okay. I work for University of Lusaka. So we have a couple of campaigns that we run to sort of, embrace our students and all of that. So yes, those campaigns have been the most exciting because obviously for me being young, my target market is really easy to, think around like campaigns that would be attractive to them and all.
Yeah, so you target like people like what 17 to 25? Or
Yes.
You still do journalism?
Yes, I freelance.
Okay, freelance, cool. So like I wanted to ask, like how did you get into marketing?
So after I graduated from university, at the time I was working for Vodafone Jump, which was a writing platform. And then when I graduated, I was promoted into the marketing department. And then after that, I moved into an advertising agency and I was doing marketing.
Okay.
And then I've now moved into marketing. I've just been in marketing since I graduated.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So didn't want to like work for like a newspaper, TV station?
Yeah, I did. I actually thought I would always work as a journalist. But seeing as I used to work for the Post, even before I started university, when the Post shut down, I had my eye on Vodafone Jump. So when I applied there, I really liked the job. It was like a youthful market and all of that. So that's how I got into Vodafone. And then, I always thought I'd be in print, but it didn't work out that way.
Okay, I guess that's how life is.
Yeah.
You have a plan to do this and end up going this other way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So have you done any marketing campaigns recently?
Recently.
So like which campaigns have you ever done?
Yeah. Well, for most of the University of Lusaka ones, so like whether it's like general adverts or African what's it called now? Africa Freedom Day, Youth Day, Women's Day, those kind of campaigns are what I usually do because of my target market. Okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you are the face behind all that.
One of the faces.
One of the faces.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Would you like to say a few words about your book before we go?
Sure.
This is the book.
Yeah. I don't know what I should say. I'll just encourage people to read it, especially if you're Zambian or if you come from a country with various tribes, because what I try to do in the book is just to emphasize on a Zambian scale our national motto, which is One Zambia, One Nation. And then if you're African in general or if you're from another country, there's also...
sorry, this is you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's a proverb that you could relate to, which I use quite a bit in the book, and that's Umuntu Umuntu Ngabantu, which means a person is a person because of other people. So it really encourages Ubuntu and oneness and just embracing being a unit as a country.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We hope to see you grow with your books and hope there'll be more books like this, bestsellers, maybe even a movie. You never know.
That would be exciting.
If there's a movie, please cast me as the main
also
actor.
cast me. Well, I don't casting.
You haven't say like okay,
I'll
this
put
one.
myself.
I should put yourself. Oh wow. All right. Otherwise, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.